Welcome. In this video, I will share with you some tips on using the GIMP Text and Paths tool. I'm Anita with beandesigns.com, and I'll discuss with you how these tools can be used in your digital scrapbook layout creations. The Paths tool can be accessed from the tool palette here. You can access the Paths tool by going to Tools along your top menu selection and clicking on Paths. You can right-click on your image, choose Tools, Paths, or you can press the B key on your keyboard to make the Path tool active. Once the Path tool is active, you can have access to the Tool Options tab where you've got your edit mode. You can choose Design, Edit, Move. This is all relating to your path, Polygon, as well as these buttons. In this video, we're going to create a simple path and use the text along path option for some creative journaling. This is how I used it on a recent layout. My butterfly has flown along my path here, and then I just put journaling. I just typed in some words that described things that we did when we were together that day. And I have my date stamp here. There's a video showing you how I created this date stamp. I made my journaling to come to be just on the paper, not on any of the elements. Well, I guess this one element I did, but mainly because if I were to be making this as a paper layout, I would want to write on the paper, not on a button or something like that. There's several steps in the process of putting text along a path. You're going to need a path, which will show up here on your Paths tab. You're going to need a text layer, and then you'll need an additional layer where you paint the text from the selection created by your path to text option. I'm going to walk you through all of those steps. So let's start with this image without any journaling. And visually, we want to create a path along this outer edge with kind of winding for the path of where the butterfly has flown. So I'm going to click on my path tool. I'm going to choose design, and I'm going to just start placing. I'm going to start placing nodes on my image. Once I place one, then I can left click and hold it and actually create a tiny curve before I let go. Let go. Now I'm going to place another node and I can make that curve again. And I'm just going to walk my way around the edge of my image, creating my path. When I get finished, if I want to change any of my if I want to change any of my curves, these seem to be nicely smooth. This one is very awkward. So I can click on this white circle and use the handle to make it less awkward. I can move that node along the line. Let's grab this node. Let's put it up there. Let's do, oh, okay. So see, I clicked outside there. I just push the backspace key and it moves it. So let's grab this handle and not create a new node. Click on the node, grab the handle. Okay, and let's do this one this way. And let's make this one go around this way. All right, we have a smooth path. It comes along, circles around, and okay, we have a good path. You can press the B key on your keyboard to close your path. You think it disappeared, however, go to your Paths tab, and this is the path we just created. We want this to be the active layer. It doesn't have to be showing. I'm going to leave it showing at this point. You don't have to have it showing, but it does need to be the active layer. Let's return to our layer tab. So our first step is complete. We have a path. I have already created this text layer. I used Tahoma text at 75 pixels. Let me choose, I want to use a charcoal color. Push OK. So it's kind of a charcoal color. Note that my text layer is larger than my layout. My experience shows that my text layer needs to be all on one line to make it go along my path line. So I zoomed out, typed out my text layer. So we have our text layer all typed out, ready to go. With that layer active, we're going to hover over it, and we're going to create a text along path. So when I click on this text along path, what's going to happen is GIMP is going to create a path around the outside of all of our text letters, and it's going to place it along our path. So what we have now is a path outlining all of our letters. So let's go to our Paths tab and hide our path that we created. And you see the active layer is this red outlined paths around our text. We want this to be a selection so that we can paint the inside of the selection. So let's go to the bottom of our Paths tab and click on this option that says Path to Selection. We have a path, we need to make it into a selection. When I click this, marching ants appear around our path. Let's go ahead and hide that red, which is the path, but we're going to keep this layer active. Let's go back to our layer palette. We're going to paint the selection. We're going to paint the inside of the selection. So we do need to have a new layer. I'm going to just create a new transparent layer. I've got it here at the top of my palette. You can use the paint tool to do this if you want. It is going to be challenging to get right inside of the selection. You could right click, edit, fill with foreground color, or edit along your top menu bar, edit, fill with foreground color. This fills the inside of all that is selected with their color. Let's do select none, and there is our text along the path. And we can go back to our layer palette and hide that original line of text so it disappears from our image. If you created your text and your path and you didn't have enough text to go along the path, or you had too much text to go along the path, you would need to go back to the step of altering your text layer, deleting your path layer, deleting your painted text layer, and start over again to make the text match with your path. If you needed to alter this path, so say when you finished it, you didn't like the way it was, you can always go to that path right here on your Paths tab, make it active, make it visible, put your Paths tool as active, go to your tool options and click on Edit, and then you can click on the line, the path line, and your nodes will appear. So there you go. That is how you can use the text tool and the paths tool inside GIMP to create a creative journaling on your layout. Hopefully, this inspired you and you find it helpful. Maybe you're already thinking there's a layout in your collection, you've got some photos and you've got a layout idea going on and you want to add a creative journaling to that layout. Go for it. Go ahead and get started. In the meantime, check out the website at beandesigns.com for a way you can get free templates for each of my weekly layout videos that are presented here on Thursdays and Fridays. Either Thursday or Friday every week, new layout tutorial. In addition to the weekly layout tutorials, there's quite a few specific GIMP digital scrapbooking tutorials available here on the channel. So check them out and subscribe if you like anything, because there will be more to come. Bye bye for now.